Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Yes, you've read that title correctly. They may have shared one mind, but I can assure you that Tom Riddle and Lord Voldemort were two completely different people. There was a reason for the name change. There was a reason to why he was okay with his physical appearance changing. Actually, there's a detailed video on his changes and you can check that out separately by clicking the card or checking it out at the end of this video. There was also a reason that Voldemort hid his past and did not want it to be known that he was once Tom Marvolo Riddle, and that is what I'm going to be talking about today. If we compare these characters side by side, they look completely different on the outside and are so far apart it's actually a brilliantly explained story of transition. So here we have it, a detailed look on how Voldemort felt about his past and why he was ashamed of who he used to be, despite achieving so much as a young man by the name of Tom Marvolo Riddle during his Hogwarts days. Lord Voldemort is an extremely powerful wizard, there's no debating it, it's widely known by everyone. Despite all the atrocities he committed, he achieved everything he achieved through hard work. Not only was he brilliant as a student, but he really dived deep into everything that was dark magic. He perfected and created incredibly powerful spells, he learned to fly without a broom, and he unlocked the shackles around immortality. He gained followers from all over Britain and amassed an army so big that there was little hope for any opposition. Voldemort even gained the support of the giants, the werewolves and other half-breeds. He even had the acromantulas in his ranks, although against their will. The point I'm making is, Lord Voldemort had truly arrived and even displayed a persona that was not to be rivaled, challenged or even questioned. He pushed the boundaries of magic further than any before him. He was the first of the first, someone who really would not be limited by any obstacle as he would always find a way. So why did he abandon the person he began with or began as? Why did he bury Tom Riddle in the past as if he never even existed? The short answer is, he wanted a clean slate, but let's actually take a deep look as to the reasons why he wanted this clean slate, and ultimately why he wanted to be rid of Tom Riddle. And before we do that, I'd like to take a brief moment to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark offer you an incredibly powerful VPN to protect your internet privacy. In today's computer age, hackers are constantly trying to gain access to your bank account details, your social media passwords, and access to your personal information, amongst many other things. This can all be prevented when browsing under Surfshark's protection. Not only does it protect your privacy, it also offers you a lot more. Different countries have different viewing restrictions on what content can be viewed. Therefore, by logging into a VPN based in another country, you can gain access to that content that may be blocked in the country that you live in. For those of you who've always wanted to watch the full 8 Harry Potter movies on Netflix, but haven't been able to in your own country, you can simply select Turkey on your Surfshark VPN location and have full access to every single one of them. It's that simple. If you join Surfshark today, you'll get 83% off, 3 extra months for free. You'll also be able to use Surfshark on as many devices as you like, there's no limit, and finally, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Basically, if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, then your money will be returned. It's a no-brainer, guys. So sign up to Surfshark right now by clicking the link in the description below. Tom Riddle was hailed as the greatest student to walk the halls of Hogwarts since Albus Dumbledore himself. He could do it all. He was incredible with a wand, amazing with potions, had a knowledge level that was double that of his fellow students. His thirst to be great was extremely intoxicating for those who witnessed his every ability. However, and this is a big however, Tom Riddle had a dirty, unclean past. He was the product of a loveless union. His father didn't want him. His mother had quite the unstable mindset she had to have if she captured his father and trapped him with a love potion. Tom was half-blood, meaning that part Muggle flowed through his veins. He had no history on his father's side, nor would he want anyone to know it, and as for his mother's side, well, the gaunt name had gone from a name of prestige and notability to one of embarrassment and was outright laughable if we were to go by the state of the family before and even after Tom's birth. He was in an orphanage for a large portion of his youth, which left him feeling unwanted and, more importantly, bitter. He was an angry, resentful young man, and it shaped his personality permanently. Now, although his power could command respect, something that went a long way with wizarding families in Tom's day was a strong lineage, and the truth of the matter was, he didn't have it. He had nothing to back himself with. So he decides to become the greatest wizard he could be, and then some. The issue with Voldemort is he's a massive hypocrite, and the truth of the matter is the majority of, if not all, bullies are hypocrites as they seek to eradicate and punish those who show traits that the bully has within themselves. That's exactly what Voldemort did when he truly rose to power. He wanted to establish a complete and total pureblood society when he himself came from such poor stock, you could say. He couldn't do it all as Tom Riddle. Tom Riddle had too much baggage. Tom Riddle had a fractured story, powerful but imperfect. He created and embraced the Lord Voldemort persona in order to shed the skin that displayed Riddle's image. He also abandoned everything Riddle represented. For example, Tom was the master of manipulation. He reveled in using his charm and giving a false sense of an attentive intrigue in order to get what he wanted. That was who he was. He had all the teachers at Hogwarts fooled. He did win several awards, but it was more so out of proving a point that he could be a better wizard than Dumbledore, if any. Lord Voldemort cast out the Tom who serenaded Hepzibah Smith in order to get the Locket of Slytherin and the Hufflepuff Cup. The Tom who pretended to befriend Helena Ravenclaw and lend an understanding ear in order to discover the true location of the lost diadem, only to use it for himself and convert it to a Horcrux, which horrified the Grey Lady. The Tom Riddle who was tipped to go on and become the youngest ever Minister of Magic in history. Now with his power, with his intimidating arrogance and overwhelming sense of self-assurance, this Lord Voldemort had taken control and Tom Riddle was truly dead. Lord Voldemort's personality took time to grow and emerge, but make no mistake, emerge it did. Lord Voldemort didn't need to ask permission for things. He would take what he wanted when he wanted. The lack of conscience that Riddle showed was amplified 10 times over by the Dark Lord, who killed for fun, tortured for fun, and took a personal pleasure in making his victims beg for death. When Riddle once rallied his followers with a desire for change, Voldemort's ultimatum of join us or die certainly didn't go down so well, but nevertheless it was adhered to. He was ashamed of who he once was and made sure that Voldemort would be the name that everyone feared. Now, he wanted to separate himself from his past and drive a wedge so far between that many students within his year and those who knew him beforehand would have just thought or believed that Riddle had left the country to begin a life elsewhere, or perhaps died even. The huge benefit he had with his new appearance as a result of creating so many Horcruxes was that he was unrecognizable from the once handsome man he used to be. This figure had long, elongated hands and limbs, not a single blade of hair, glowing red eyes, and snake slits for a nose. He didn't even look human, never mind looking like who he used to be. His Death Eaters were none the wiser and truly believed that he was who he said he was. There was no way they'd follow a half-blood. Even Bellatrix Lestrange voiced her hatred of half-bloods and Muggleborns several times throughout the books. He may not have directly told him that he was pureblood, but I think many Death Eaters just assumed his blood status was pure. Sure, why else would he be fighting to achieve a pure blood society? This once again highlights Voldemort's bullying persona. He tries to eradicate half-bloods from the world, even though he himself was half-blood. Well, Tom Riddle was, but Voldemort was certainly not. He distanced himself so far from his past that he truly did create a new individual.
Riddle was gone. Voldemort is what remains.
Sorry guys, I'm still not over that Kenobi Vader scene. Brilliant. Anyway guys, that's my video on why Voldemort erased his past. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember, happiness can be found in even the darkest of times if only one remembers to click like on this video. See you soon.